Hey everyone, thanks for joining me again for the next in my Moon and Synastry podcast series. I'm still doing these in the windstorm, so if you hear background noises, banging and stuff, it's because the wind is just crazy outside. But I'm loving it because I'm listening to good music, I'm having fun. So thanks again for joining me for this one, which is the moon in partner's third house, or your moon in the partner's third house, or their moon in your third house, and what this means in synastry. The moon is our emotional nature, our mother, our family, what we need emotionally to feel secure, what makes us feel comfortable. It's intuitive. It's very sensitive, okay? And the third house has to do with the mind, how we perceive information, how we express that information by communication, through writing, through emails, through technology, through speaking, whatever. It's also our local environment. It's a very multitasking house, the third house, because the third house is ruled by Gemini, the twins, and it's intellectual, multitasking, getting around town, talking to neighbors, talking to people, all the local shops. It's your immediate environment as well, what you absorb from your immediate environment through your eyes and what you're perceiving, and how you process that information. So it's a very fast-moving, active house too. It's where we're moving around, learning stuff, picking up information. It's all our early childhood learning through kindergarten, through like the 6th grade, sometimes the 12th grade, I think. It has to do with all information. So when somebody's moon is in somebody's third house, both people are impacted. The third house person is mentally stimulating the moon person, and the moon person, because their moon is in the same sign as the third house person, usually, they have a similar way of processing information, of dealing with their emotions similarly, perhaps even, but it depends because the house person has their moon in a different sign. And also we have to consider what aspects are being made to the moon in the individual charts of the individuals, or whoever the moon person is, in order to understand more about how it will be played out in the synastry. Because if the moon is afflicted, or it has blocking energies or overpowering energies or something from the outer planets, or whatever, it will alter the interpretation somewhat because it's going to affect the planet energy. So this is a very talkative placement where you're able to express your emotions pretty easily with each other. The moon person might have intuitive insights into the way the house person thinks, and the house person can influence the moon person's way of thinking. In other words, the moon is being housed in the house person's third house. So the moon is experiencing this third house environment of the house person, and the moon is offering its emotional nature, support, encouragement, intuition into the third house person's life, into their mind, into their thinking, into their communication. So typically they can think a lot alike, or maybe deal with the thinking process is similar. Even though the moon isn't necessarily the thinking process, it definitely is connected to that, because it's the emotions, it's how we process our emotions. So we may hear some information, and then how we deal with it emotionally is through the moon. So this is a very talkative, social, active placement for the moon in synastry. So you guys can enjoy like walking around the neighborhood, going to local shops and talking to people. But intuitively, you both are connected also. You can intuit each other's needs, thoughts, thinking, feelings, all that stuff. It's good for also a couple that wants to write something together, that wants to do a book or a play or something like that. It's really good for learning new subjects from each other. It's a very communicative, talkative, social type of moon placement. So you guys will spend a lot of time talking and sharing your feelings with each other, talking about how you feel, talking about things, just talking about many different subjects. A lot of communication, a lot of communication with this placement. Now, to find out more about how this will play out, because no aspect in itself can judge the longevity of a relationship, it just kind of tells you what this particular aspect will bring about. But to find out more about how it would actually play out, you got to look at the person with the moon and the aspects to their moon to see, how this will be likely play out. Like if the person has Saturn square or opposite their moon, or if the person has Jupiter conjunct their moon, they'll be very positive and philosophical, and that will tell you kind of the tone about your conversation. So you got to look at that to know more about that. So if you're interested in getting a personal relationship reading, I specialize in those along with a lot of different types. You can definitely visit my site at www.illumastrology.blogspot.com. If you found me there, then you already know me. Hi. Thanks for listening. If you found this helpful, please do give it a thumbs up, and also be sure to subscribe to get notification. You have to click the bell of all my uploads, because I'm doing this moon series today in my windstorm. So anyways, thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you all soon.